What's good, YouTube? This your boy EJ the DJ and my Atlanta Hawks fans. It finally happened. It finally happened. I've been waiting on this trade to happen for a long time now. The Atlanta Hawks have finally traded John Collins to the Utah Jazz for Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick. I said the Atlanta Hawks have traded John Collins to the Utah Jazz for Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick. Now, John Collins, who is owed $78 million over the next 3 seasons. He's owed $78 million over the next 3 seasons, right? Now, with this swap, it creates a $25.3 million trade exception for the Hawks. And it's the largest in the NBA this year. And Atlanta has a year to potentially use this exception to take on a player's contract. Wow. It finally happened, Hawks fans. Now, I know a lot of Hawks fans is not going to like this video. I know a lot of Hawks fans that may like this video. But I'm going to just give my opinion on John Collins. All right. I've been waiting on this trade for a long time now. I'm pretty happy with the trade. I know a lot of Hawks fans are not happy with the trade because we're getting back Rudy Gay and a second-round pick. The only thing that makes me mad about this trade is that the Hawks waited a year or two too late to trade John Collins. Now, if we would have traded John Collins maybe a year or two ago, we might could have did what the Golden State Warriors did with Jordan Poole. Not saying getting Chris Paul, but a lot of picks. Or maybe we could have gotten a better player in the deal other than Rudy Gay. Right? If you trade John Collins 2 years or a year ago. But that didn't happen. Now, this hasn't been new to Hawks fans that John Collins has been in trade talks. John Collins has been in trade talks for the longest. The last regime was talking about trading John Collins. Now we got Landry Fields and Kyle Korver running the operations of this team, and they finally traded John Collins. Now, right now, it's looking like it's a salary dump because we're getting Rudy Gay, and I think Rudy Gay, he accepted his player option, which is about $6.4 million. So he's gonna be on the books. But we just unloaded a lot of money, right? For a player that's, what do you call John Collins? He's not a 3-and-D. We seen John Collins struggle to hit that 3 this season. Wide open at that. And that's another thing. Can I be honest? John Collins, it's not like I never liked John Collins. I'm not saying that I don't like John Collins. I just didn't like his game. You know, there has been times where Trae Young has been out and John Collins, he'd be on the floor, and I'll be like, okay, this game right here is going to be the game where John Collins shows me the type of player that he is, what he's able to do with the ball in his hand. They give him the ball in his hands. And without Trae Young feeding him the ball. What is John Collins going to do? I'm excited to see. Let me watch the game. And you know what John Collins would do in that game? 8 points, 4 rebounds, maybe 10 points, 3 rebounds. And I got Hawks fans upset that the Hawks traded John Collins? What type of player is John Collins anyway? You can't call him a 3-and-D. He wasn't consistent at the 3-point line this season. A lot of his shots were wide open as well, especially from that corner. Brick. I see Utah Jazz fans, they're happy. People saying, oh, they fleeced the Hawks. Have y'all watched John Collins play? Or are y'all just thinking about his dunks? You know, yes, John Collins that had legendary moments and big dunks and stuff like that. One of my favorite Atlanta Hawks dunks of all time is when he dunked on Joel Embiid in the Eastern Conference Finals. right? He played well that final in the Eastern Conference Finals. He played a great Eastern Conference Finals. I like what he did. But the thing is, he regressed. He regressed. His rebounds even fell off this season. It would be games where I see John Collins have 2 rebounds, right? He's supposed to be 20 and 10. He was averaging 20 and 10 2 seasons ago. Now we get to this season, he's not even averaging. We can't get 10 rebounds. Like, come on now. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the trade. I have been waiting for this trade to happen for a while. Okay? I'm not saying that John Collins can't play defense. Yes, he can block shots. Right? But it's not what the Hawks need. The Hawks need a little bit more than that. You know, we thought, well, at least I thought as a Hawks fan that John Collins was going to be Trey's Robin and Trey was Batman. With them, we got DeJounte Murray. I said, okay, that switches. Okay, so now it's going to be DeJounte. It's going to be Trey, DeJounte, and JC. But the first year we get DeJounte, JC regresses like this. Mind you, the Utah Jazz don't have a point guard like Trae Young. Trae Young has been averaging a double-double since he's been in the league, and he gets double-digit assists, right? Utah, it ain't no Trae Young out there in Utah. So that's another thing. I'm going to be interested to see what John Collins does with another team, right? That's another thing that I've been looking forward to and why I wanted the Hawks to trade him. Is it just because, is it the Hawks system where he doesn't fit? How are they going to use him? Now, I know it's going to be Lauri Markkanen and John Collins, right? In their front court. That ain't a lot of defense. That isn't a lot of defense. I know JC can play defense, but that isn't a lot of defense, right? Unless John Collins shows me something different this season. Is John Collins going to start hitting his shots this season? Is John Collins finally going to get some post game this season? Because he can't create his own shot. I can tell you that. He couldn't. That's my biggest thing about John Collins, that he couldn't create his shot. He really didn't have a post game for real. John Collins is pretty much an athletic dunker. And then let's be real. Let's be real. And I know some Hawks fans gonna call me wrong, and y'all gonna hate this video, but I'm just speaking how I feel. And you can comment on the video how you really feel about John Collins. But it's been plenty of times where even Trey has been out the game, and John Collins didn't step up. I'm not saying that he's never had good games. Yes, John Collins, he's had good games. And I was very happy to see John Collins have those good games. But it just wasn't enough. They weren't that consistent. Some people may say, oh, Trey had the ball in his hands a lot, and he misses JC a lot. And, man, I don't even want to hear that. But like I said, I'm ready to see what John Collins does in Utah. You know, like I made my other video, I said, explain it, what I want the Atlanta Hawks to trade John Collins, and I was all for it. But the thing that I said, I want to see, if they trade John Collins, how is he going to fit in their system? Is he going to, did this system just not fit him? Or is he going to play better just knowing that he's somewhere where they want him, and he'll be able to play more comfortably, knowing that, okay, this team actually wants me. I'm not in trade talks every 2 seconds. So I can just finally focus on my game and not worry about the outside noise. It could have been just that for John Collins. He's been in trade talks for a while now. For more than a couple years. Right? So he probably could just been uncomfortable here in Atlanta, not knowing the uncertainty, not knowing if you're going to get traded. You know? So that could be a thing too. So that's what I'm going to be interested into watching John Collins this upcoming season. How is he going to fit in Utah? Is he going to play, is his game going to get better? Is he going to get back to that 2010 guy that he was a couple of years ago with the Hawks? That's going to be my main thing. I see a lot of Utah Jazz fans are happy about this trade. People saying we done got fleeced here in Atlanta. I like the trade. But the only thing that's concerning me is, are they going to use this trade exception? With this new Hawks regime, and who's running it, Landry Fields and Cal Corver, we don't know yet. I heard Landry Fields say they giving them the ability to go over the luxury tax or be under the luxury tax, right? So we're going to see what they're going to do. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to think positive as a positive Hawks fan that I can be. And I'm just sit here and say they're going to do something with this player option, this trade player option. It still opens up money for free agency too as well. And free agency is happening, I think it starts Friday. So I'm watching to see if the Hawks are going to be players in free agency. The Hawks have been trying to get a deal done with the Toronto Raptors for Pascal Siakam. I would love to have Pascal Siakam on the Hawks. Have you seen what Toronto has done to the Atlanta Hawks defensively when we played Toronto? Have you seen that? Yeah, Pascal Siakam was on the floor. Guess who else was on the floor? John Collins was on the floor. Yep. Guarding Pascal Siakam, right? Sometimes. Because I know Pascal plays center too. But sometimes John Collins was on Pascal Siakam, right? But no word has come out about it. I know that the Hawks haven't got a deal done. I seen that they were nowhere near close to getting a deal done with the Raptors. But I just thought that, I'm going to be honest, I thought John Collins would be in that move of trying to get Pascal Siakam. But that's not the case anymore. So who's going to be in that trade? Is it DeAndre Hunter? That's another question. Do we even have the ability of going after Pascal Siakam now without John Collins? It's gotta be DeAndre Hunter, huh? That's the only thing I can think of, unless they're gonna trade DeJounte, which I don't see that happening. But the other trade piece that I can think of trying to get Pascal would be DeAndre Hunter. Right? But let me know in the comments how you feel about this trade. I'm happy. Like I said, the only thing I hate about this trade was a year or two too late to trade John Collins. Maybe 2 years ago, we probably could have gotten some picks, a better player swap for JC. But they never traded him. So they finally traded him. They traded for 38 years old. Is he 38? I know he's in his late 30s. Rudy Gay's in his late 30s. Right? So I'm just hoping. I'm hoping for the best for what the Hawks do. But as far as this move here with John Collins, I'm okay with the trade. Now it's time for Atlanta to make some moves so we and better this team. Well, I want somebody better at the 4. Yes, if it's Jalen Johnson starting this year, then we get to finally see what Jalen Johnson looks like in the starting lineup. I was really one of those advocates for Sadiq Bey this past season. Sadiq Bey was more consistent than John Collins this season. I was on Twitter hoping that the Hawks would try Sadiq Bey. I was hoping they was going to try Sadiq Bey at their 4 in the starting 5, but, it never happened. Right? So, I couldn't wait to make this video. When I seen the news, I said, okay, we finally traded JC. There's been reports that saying the Hawks are very active. Right? They say they've been very active on the phone, so we're going to see what's going to happen. Who would you like to see here in Atlanta? Especially with this trade exception. They can take on a big contract. That's another thing. Are they going to take on a big contract? You just got off a big contract. Are you going to take on another big contract, or y'all just doing a salary dump, right? So we're gonna see what they're gonna do. We'll know the after effects and what this move was meant to be in a couple days now. And we'll just go from there as Hawks fans, right? All right, but this your boy EJ the DJ, man. Make sure y'all hit that like, comment on this video. Let me know how you feel about this trade. Let me know how you feel about JC, Utah Jazz fans. Are y'all excited to have John Collins on y'all team? Let me know in the comments. But this your boy EJ the DJ, and I'm out.